1 year ago, our family was in ruins and my heart was breaking. Today, life for all of us has resumed with such a bright future.
Without the Catherine Freer program, I wouldn't have had the motivation to drop my addiction to drugs and alcohol and return to values that I once knew were important.
We're so happy to report that our daughter has remained free from drugs. She went on to college, is gainfully employed, and changed her life. She can't say enough good things about the impact the Catherine Freer program made on her life.
For more than 20 years, Catherine Freer Wilderness Therapy programs have been working with families to facilitate long-term change in struggling adolescents. Families turn to the Catherine Freer program when they have a child whose behavior has started to spiral out of control. Despite the family's best efforts, the child continues to make poor choices. The Catherine Freer program stands out when compared to other wilderness programs. The primary difference? A master's level therapist with chemical dependency training resides in the field with participants throughout the entirety of the expedition, not for just 2 days a week, which is the industry standard. This 24/7 access to therapeutic feedback and insight helps create an unmatched therapeutic relationship, resulting in remarkable and proven outcomes for adolescents. In addition, parents are assigned a therapist who counsels them throughout their child's experience. Our program helps teens reconnect to the values that are important to lead successful lives: family, responsibility, honesty, trust, and respect. Participants take part in a backpacking and adventure activity expedition. Teens respond to the experience, which combines outdoor living, a healthy diet, physical activity, and extensive psychotherapy. Wilderness living naturally presents challenges. Consequences are not distributed by an authority figure of questionable motives and fairness, but by nature in her simple, direct way. A participant is encouraged to face these obstacles and to push beyond his or her own self-imposed limits. This is a powerful tool for reaching adolescence and for both rebuilding self-esteem and for establishing trust in one's own abilities. Often, troubled teens reach for drugs and alcohol, develop unhealthy relationships, or draw inward and become fixated on the internet in an attempt to escape their feelings of inadequacy. At Catherine Freer, we help adolescents get in touch with the underlying issues that are causing them to struggle. Participants take part in healthy physical activities that promote emotional well-being. They naturally begin to develop self-confidence when they accomplish physically challenging adventures, such as completing an arduous hike, learning to rock climb, or negotiating a whitewater rapid.
We'll hike probably, 3 to 5 to 6 hours a day. And we may, depending on the terrain we're in, depending on the use area we're in, whether we're in the desert or the mountains, we'll cover anywhere from 3 to 10 miles a day. It depends on the kids we have, it depends on the terrain we're in, it depends on the weather.
I went from a depressed, self-destructive middle school student to a mature young man. Freer changed my life and helped me make me who I am today.
I participated in this program 10 years ago, and it was the best experience of my life. It truly helped me.
To ensure that adolescents participating in our program have a better chance at succeeding, we ask that parents actively take part in their child's program. We offer numerous opportunities for parents, including online courses that teach valuable communication techniques and important lessons in conflict resolution.
I think when people think about therapy in general, they think about what we would call clinical therapy. And the clinical therapy is a huge part of what we do. But if clinical therapy worked for our kids, then they would probably be seeing a counselor once a week for an hour, and that would be enough to resolve a lot of their problems. So what we do is create a really large experiential component where the therapy comes through being in nature, through being removed from a lot of the distractions of everyday life.
I think our program is quite successful. We have academic psychological research that indicates that it is. More importantly, when you see the kids at the end of the time that they're with us in treatment, almost all of them are doing much better. For us, success is trying to get the children who come to us, mostly being angry at their families and failing in life, to turn around and try to be successful and to remember that they love their families. I think we probably achieve about a 95% success rate in doing that. And our long-term research indicates that 2 or 3 years later, a year later and 2 or 3 years later, that success rate is pretty well sustained.
Kevin is happy, successful, and drug and alcohol free for 4 years. Your program works.
Yesterday, we had a student return to our school who had participated in your program. Wow, he was a very different person from the one who was expelled from here last year. I was impressed with the changes in him and his commitment to maintaining those changes.
I attended your program 4 years ago, and I honestly think that it saved my life. Thanks.
Catherine Freer Wilderness Therapy programs are employee-owned and operated. We are JCO accredited and licensed in the state of Oregon as a drug and alcohol and mental health treatment program. Our accreditation and licensure enables many families to receive insurance reimbursement for our program. The Catherine Freer team is comprised of professionals who believe in the value of wilderness therapy and its ability to help facilitate long-term change in troubled teens.